Hello and welcome to Money Pile Monday, where I go through my death pile and try to turn it into dollars by actually listing it. So I am a little under the weather today, so I just kind of want to like sit and do this, in both showing you stuff and also the listing part of it. So I'm going to go through this box of stuff that has been sitting in my house for 3 years now that I have not listed. And to preface this, it's all going to be ephemera and books. So if you're not interested in reselling ephemera or books, catch me in the next video. So I'm going to show you everything in here and then also the listing as I go through it. Keep me accountable, because honestly, this has been so helpful for me. I have already sold 8 things from Money Pile Monday, so I am actually turning things into dollars, and this will allow us to get some work done together maybe. So I'm gonna open this up and let's get this started. So I have 2 Charlie Brown books. These are little hardcovers. These are weekly readers. And almost all the stuff I'm going to show you was free to me because I picked it out of the hoarder home that I got to go into before the pandemic started. So Charlie Brown books, I'm going to sell them as a set, and these are from 1974. So those are going to go in a set. This is Travel Outlines of France. I just thought this thing was so cool. It does have a bit of yellowing inside, but this is from 1927. It does have some damage to the back, so this is almost antique. And it just talks about traveling in France, like the different regions, the agriculture, popular coastal resorts in 1927, great French painters from the era, great French musicians. It just gives you a little bit of information, background information about France. I don't know if this is really worth anything, but I didn't want it to end up in the skip, so I will just post it and see what happens. This I think I looked up when I originally picked it out of the hoarder house. This is the Model Arithmetic by the Massey Business Colleges. This I believe is also, yep, so this is from 1895. So this is antique. It has a little bit of foxing around the sides, and of course the pages are slightly yellowed. It talks about how to calculate taxes, different equations. This is a book to teach math for business. And yeah, I picked this up, see what happens. This, oh my god, I thought this was just so cool. So this is The Key to London, an illustrated magazine. It has an Hermeto advert on the back. It also comes with this little ticket for garden chairs in Kensington, a 2-day Hyde Park ticket, and this is from 1928. Put that right there. And this is the 3rd volume. Again, it has a lot of adverts from the time period, talking about Piccadilly Square with some drawings, because photography was very expensive. So during this time period, it was cheaper and easier to hire an illustrator than it would be to actually do photographs, but there are a couple. Talking about the different theaters in London, the different gardens you can go to, like the gossip of the time. These are events that you could go to at the time period as well in 1928. And it has a pull-out so you can send a telegram home from Western Union, which I thought was adorable. Again, this was languishing in a hoarder house. I've talked multiple times about how much I love reselling ephemera, so I don't know if anybody's gonna want that, but again, I didn't want it to get thrown away. To go along with that, this is the Arcadian Atlas to London, and This has a bunch of really cool vintage maps. Now, I know some resellers, when they get books like this, will actually take them apart and individually sell them off, like the more well-known ones, the more well-known areas, and they'll like get them framed and then sell them off individually. But these are all the different bureaus and stuff with the... I just thought this was cool, obviously. It also has rounded edges, and it has a street guide in the back. I wonder how many of these are still there. I thought this was so cool. For passport and identity photographs finished in 1 hour, go to Samuel's Limited, 84th and 150th Strand, London. I wonder if that place is still there. Probably not. But I picked this up, and oh no! Oh no! Sorry, I was putting it on the table and was not paying attention, and I just knocked everything off the table. Amazing. This is great. So I have 7 magazines here. I am going to sell them individually. I actually already listed about a stack the same size of these vintage New Yorker magazines from the 60s and 70s. And I actually just sold my last one recently, so I can list these and have a fresh set. Vintage magazines do sell for me, depending on the magazine. I mean, the New Yorkers went between $10 and $20. It just depends on the artist for the cover, also the contents and the adverts inside. So if you'll notice anything about 1960s advertisements in magazines, there is a lot of alcohol advertised. So here we go. On the back, we have cognac, random page, a whiskey from Kentucky. Here's what's Tal Reputation. This is Paul Revere ware, which, by the way, if you find Paul Revere ware reselling, that is pretty awesome. And the reason why people buy these is, 1, for junk journaling, and 2, also as movie props and as reference photos. So if you have someone who, it can be both a movie prop and also a reference for someone wanting to do a period show, like what do people wear, what kind of stuff are people drinking, what kind of stuff are people talking about. It allows people to give like a little bit more in-depth look into the time period. This one is from May 1968. Also specifically with New Yorker magazines, because they have an individual date on them, sometimes people buy these as gifts if someone was born on that day. This one is from May 18th, 1968. May 11th, 1968. This is actually really cute. Oh, this is from Stieg. Awesome. So we have a Getz and a Stieg. And a I have not seen that person before. This is Steinberg. Look at her. Isn't she cute? This one is from May 4th. Ooh, this one's beautiful. And people will also get these and frame them, like especially if they are a New Yorker. Look at this. Stupid Glass advert. But I love these, and again, I got everything I've shown you for free. So, oh, here we got a Citron ad. Back when you could buy Citron in the States, I guess. If you don't know what Citron is a French car brand. That is very popular in Europe. It's kind of as ubiquitous in France as like an inexpensive kind of sedan car, the same way you would look at a Honda Civic or a Toyota Corolla here. Got another gin ad talking about travel to Amsterdam. Look at that. I don't know if you guys care about that. I just love looking through old magazines. It's just kind of really neat, especially as someone who likes looking at how people dress. So this is a Bergdorf Goodman ad. Of course, the back we have a bourbon ad with the mash. A Child's Guide to Paris. Look at the uniform for Tokyo Airlines. Look at that. That's so crazy. Anyway, so this is from March 1st, 1969, and this is from April 13th, 1968. So I will get all of these listed, and that's pretty cool that actually none of these have the same artist, so that'll be fun. I do the effort of looking up every individual artist just to make sure I have that in the title, because some people also particularly collect based on whoever the artist is. Here is some ephemera. I've also sold all of these that I have listed before. So this individual wanted to be a air hostess in the 60s, 50s and 60s. So this is Airline Fundamental Specialized Training for Weaver Airline Personnel School. And I will sell these as a group, and it has their answers written in here. It has information on the TWA, but even though I don't have all of them, I just put in the title, like which ones there are. You know, this one is a little bit messed up. I'll just disclose that, and they're written in. And again, this is something that people have as either junk journaling information and or research information and or movie props. So I have fundamentalist specialized training, and these are airline reservation training. So this goes over the different systems, like how you write down stuff. Genius at work, please do not disturb for you to hang on your door. Again, more ephemera. This is Protect Your Life, Wise Words for Women. It's a little self-protection pamphlet. I think this is from the 50s. Again, this is from 1967. Never mind. Adventures in Conversation. I'm guessing this is how not to be a bore on a date. Oh, this is so you can send away. This is a pamphlet of something you can send away for. Wow. That's amazing. This is the Midland Trail through the Switzerland of America. Midland Trail is in West Virginia. These are just, I think it's in West Virginia, yeah. So these are just some vintage photographs about West Virginia or in West Virginia. I don't know what time period this is from. Let's see, does it say on here anywhere? It does not. It does not give me a date at all. But there is that. We have the new nationwide hobby of transfer magic, the gay adventuring and restyling old furniture. So this is just, you know, furniture flipping has been a thing for forever. Showing all the different ways you could take this old ugly brown box and then repaint it and make it pretty for your new home. People have been flipping furniture and doing terrible paint jobs on them forever. That's my own personal opinion. You do you. Like, this is a nice antique armoire and they've just painted little rosettes randomly on it. This is from 1935. These are some prints of old New York. Different beautiful prints of artwork for over the years. Some of this is a little bit, what is this? This is a random eulogy for somebody. Okay. We have the 5 points, which if you've ever seen The Gangs of New York, you'd be familiar with what the 5 points are. In old New York, this kind of stuff, again, there are some resellers that would take individual ones of these and sell them instead of like selling the whole thing to make more money, but I'm just gonna sell the whole thing. London of today, except today I think is also in the 50s. Again, a bunch of old photographs of different places in London. Ooh, maybe this is even older than that based on the vehicles pictured. There you go. And this is what I'm saying, like, I don't know. I think maybe, is there a date on here? No. I'll have to do some more research. I don't know exactly when this is. Ooh, here we go. This'll help. Oh, so this London of today is from the 20s, the late 20s, and the reason I know that is because the thing paper clipped in the back is the passenger list for American Merchant Lines from May 4th, 1928. That's interesting. This is Panama Pacific International Exposition from 1915 in San Francisco. Here is another vintage map. And everything folds out. I don't know what this is. Again, it just looked neat and I know vintage map spelled, so I picked that up. Hello, Editing Bob here. I wanted to share one. If you are still watching this, this is very dry, I know, so thank you. And two, this is actually, this specific piece of paper that I am showing you is from when the Panama Canal was opened. And when I was doing research, I was surprised at how much this was worth. Mine is not the most expensive one. I actually undersold this in hopes that it would sell quickly. But anything about the Panama Canal from this specific convention or whatever it was is valuable, like just in general. So if you see something that has this on it, this Panama Pacific International Exposition, I would pick that up. So just added that little factoid in there because I did not realize what this was when I was showing it to you, and I did not realize what it was when I picked it up out of the order house. I just thought it was neat. The next three items, again, I'm going to sell them individually, but all of these are like yearbook type deals from William and Mary, which is one of the oldest colleges in the United States, if you did not know, and local to me. So this is the class of 1970, the class of 1971, and the class of 1972. And if you have a famous person in any of these, normally that will help sell it because people like that stuff. This is Miracle at Philadelphia. It's completely sealed. So this is in mint condition sealed book. I don't know what the market is for this because this has been hanging around probably since the 70s, but we'll see. So there's this one. This is Plan de Paris, I don't know, it's in French. And this is another little vintage map with all the different things you can do in Paris and the addresses, and then there is a little like map thing in the back. I thought this was just so cute. It's got pictures of the Seine, like the different little districts in Paris. So the persons who housed this their family traveled a lot. Like this was a pretty well-off family at the turn of the century, and well-connected family, which is why there's all these touring of Europe type of stuff in this pile of things. Now, this Colonial Williamsburg official guidebook and map I am actually going to keep because this is from 1965. This is in mint condition, and it's more of just a piece of history, of local history for me, and that means a lot. It also has like the original map from 1965 of Colonial Williamsburg, and it has changed quite a lot since that time period, so I am definitely keeping this. This is more for my own benefit than for anybody else's. My aunt and my uncle both worked for Colonial Williamsburg as well. Actually, my aunt just retired last year, so that means a lot to me. I've talked about how much I love Colonial Williamsburg. I picked this up because it looked interesting. This is the Outdoor Girls of Deepdale. And this is the Outdoor Girls of Deepdale, or Camping and Tramping for Fun and Health. The two titles. by Laura Lee Hope. And this is from 1913. So we'll see if that is worth it. And I haven't decided if I am keeping or selling this. This is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. And this book was given to Carol Ann on her 3rd birthday, September 1st in 1939, by Mother and Daddy. It's absolutely beautiful. This is like, the way that this is printed, you could tell it was like put through a roller and like stamped on the pages. This is absolutely gorgeous. It's got the little poems in the front. Down the rabbit hole, it has a little plate at the front of each one. And I do believe this is the entire book. It does have some illustrations as well. I haven't decided. I guess I'll check to see what comps are for this, whether or not I decide to keep it. You'll know up here if I do or not. There is also, I'm guessing they bought these at a thrift store, but The Bear Detectives with the Berenstain Bears, and then Stuart Little by E.B. White. I think I will sell this one, and I might keep this one because I love the Berenstain Bears, or I'll just keep this until I have more of them. But I will probably sell Stuart Little. And these prices are in grease pencil, so I just need a handy dandy rubber eraser, because you guys have asked before how I do this. And I just erase them with the rubber eraser, and then some of you are like, but sometimes there's like a residue afterwards. So you see here where you've got like a little bit of residue left. What I do is I just spray a little bit of rubbing alcohol onto a cloth. And then wipe that off, and it comes right off, and it's great. And I can do this right now. It's more prevalent with, I've noticed, the red grease pencils than the black ones, but yeah, there's that. Now this is much more than 20 items, but I do have to make up for last week because I found that silver mug and immediately couldn't function anymore. So a little bit of overkill today. I know that maybe this wasn't as interesting for some of you, but I really do love reselling ephemera and books. And some of you have said that you like that too. So I will see you guys in the next Money Pile Monday. And I hope to continue to have success with this because it's been great getting this stuff out of my house. And it's nice to have an empty box now, so I can fill this up with more of my clothing inventory, which is great. So I will see you guys next week for another video. Bye! Bye!